Today I have an amazing sponsor on my amazing dancing show, and it is Jacqueline Gaffney. She is hey Jacqueline, how are you, Jackie? I hope it's okay if I call you that.
That's what everyone calls me, Jackie.
So Jackie is a teacher, dancer, and choreographer.
Yes, I am.
It is amazing to have you here today.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm excited.
Yeah, so Jackie, tell me a little bit about, you're a professor of dance at Hunter College. And you also have a dance organization.
Yes, I do.
And I'm going to mispronounce it, so I feel horrible, and I feel like I might need you to pronounce it.
It is a tongue twister. It is a little.
Exousia?
Exousia.
I knew, okay.
Exousia.
Exousia Dance Company.
Dance and fitness company, yes.
And can you tell us a little bit about it, and then we'll show a video.
I picked the name Exousia because the Greek meaning of it is power, and dance has power.
Oh, wow.
Dance does have power. It's a creative expression. We can use it to express ourselves politically, socially, and it has power to it. So when I found that name, I said, wow, that's very different and unique. And so Exousia Dance and Fitness is a collaboration of dance and exercise fitness. When Michelle Obama had that whole project of Let's Move, it kind of jumped at me because our children need to exercise. But what a way to get them to exercise is through dance. So Exousia is a collaboration, again, of dance and fitness, where we introduce various styles of dance to students, from hip-hop, jazz, modern, African, ballet. And we go into the school systems and different organizations, and we bring the arts to students. And Exousia goes to various places. We have the dance company called Exousia Dance Company, which is building bridges of unity. And breaking down racial, gender barriers, and bringing the unity of dance together to break everything that we have in this crazy world of violence and discrimination. And Exousia represents peace and unity coming together. Well, a dance company.
I love that, because that to me is what dance is all about.
Exactly, power.
Yeah, it really is, and it really does bring people together.
Yes, it does.
And whether you're a dancer like myself or a professional dancer like you, that's a perfect example of your mission.
Yes.
Do people, do you only go into schools to do your program, or do people come to you?
Right now we have people we come to the schools. Sometimes I'll have programs and workshops where we'll get space and we'll either rent. Right now we're in the process of opening up, having a building. We can actually say we have business with no walls right now. But sometimes what we do,
I know that feeling.
You know that feeling. So right now what we're doing is sometimes we'll use spaces of different community centers, schools, and we'll do various workshops. And we use the arts. It really brings out as a therapeutic expression for children and adults. We don't just have it for children, we have it for adults, high school students, college students, elderly, because we realize that dance can be a therapeutic form of expression and to help people in mentally, socially, physically, and every aspect of it, because it draws the attention to people.
I think that we have a videotape.
Yes.
Can you guys play that videotape of Jackie's dance program?
And this whole piece is about a journey, coming back from the past to the present, really. And it really represents the woman in the center. She represents history. And the younger people there, they represent present day. And that's what this particular whole piece is about. And we did that at Hunter College about a couple of years ago. And that was really the beginning of the launch of it. If you could see, we have a various audience there. You can see some heads there. And it was really to show a timeline representing a past of the arts and how the next generation is going to start to take that arts and bring it to another expression.
And do you also, within being a professor at Hunter, do you incorporate, things and topics from your dance company?
Yes, what I do, I'm an adjunct professor at Hunter.
Right.
And basically, my class is West African and Afro-Contemporary.
Okay.
And what's so great about it is that the African culture has played a strong contribution to the modern dance mainstream.
Right.
If we look at a lot of movements from hip-hop, modern, and even some movements of ballet, we can see how these other various art forms have borrowed from the African and Afro-Caribbean dance,
Right.
from movements of isolation, rotation. So the African Afro-Caribbean plays a strong role in the modern dance and contemporary mainstream.
Right.
We're finding out a lot of artists are borrowing or using movements from the culture of African dance and collaborating and with their choreography.
Right.
And so it's really a great art form to venture in if you're just starting dance, because African dance is a cultural art form. It's not a technique.
Right.
And anyone can take the class. It's
Right.
for anyone. And if you notice, they've started to put it in a lot of your fitness gyms.
Right, yes.
Sports and fitness. You notice that they'll have a whole itinerary of exercise classes, but you'll also see an African dance class there, because we find out it is a type of fitness, but also a dance class. So you're getting a collaboration of both at fitness and dance movements.
So through your dance program, do you feel that you're kind of budding out into becoming an original, dance organization where you're really teaching African and Caribbean dance,
Yes.
where you're not finding it, you're not finding these other dance schools teaching the same?
No, they may have, some of them do, but in terms of what we do is we don't just focus on the African, but we also bring in how the African and contemporary are unified together.
Right.
So we'll also bring in and have students explore the whole aspects of other art forms, hip hop, breakdancing,
Right.
which comes out of the capoeira. So we also will show how ballet and African have similarities in terms of movements. So it's not just the African as a form of a dominating of the art form of all dance,
Right.
but see how we all are very familiar. The movements are very familiar. They have some similarities to it.
Right.
So, and it's a great part in terms of an introduction of
Right.
taking a dance class before you venture in the other art forms,
Right.
because you're moving every part of the body. So it is a very good introduction before do I want to step into a modern dance class first? African is a good style or art form that you can start off with, because you're beginning to move and beginning to understand freedom, how to be freely
Right.
express your body, how
Right.
to move, how to improv. Every art form is in the African dance culture. So it's excellent. And even though it's an art form that comes strictly from out of Africa, everyone is jumping on board with it, regardless of what culture you are,
Right.
because it's very helpful in every aspect. Yeah.
That sounds amazing. And
Yes.
so when somebody comes to take your class, do you start off just with the basic? Like, is there any moves you can teach me?
Yeah, well, with African, because there's no levels in it. And we may hit a part of Africa, for instance, we may do a dance called kuku,
Right.
which is a part of a dance that comes from Ghana. So there's certain dances that may be a little bit more challenging, and some
Right.
are not. But what I do when my students come in, I just let them move freely.
Right.
And I just go, just move, just have fun, allow your body just to free yourself up and just move. And then we
Right.
start, talking about the different movements of the isolation, the rotation of the hips, and beginning to get them to understand how to really move their bodies. But it's really more just a free expression. How I let the students come in and begin to start
Right.
there. Yeah.
And how did you come to developing this dance program?
In 1985, until my 80s, I started teaching exercise fitness. And I was doing that prior to going to school.
Okay.
And I started teaching fitness in
You were
all
just
your
like
different gyms, just an
Right.
aerobic instructor.
Right.
And then I started as to collaborate dance movements in my fitness class.
Right.
And then I started using African dance movements. And my classes got popular
Right.
all across the United States. I would do different expos and different workshops for different organizations
Right.
and different school programs and different dance organizations.
Right.
And that's how it really got started. It's been going pretty strong.
That's
now,
great.
ever since then. Yeah,
That's great.
Yeah.
And you have other people who also teach your classes.
Yeah, I've trained students. I also work with a program at Hunter, which is Dance Ed, and it's a methods course. And sometimes I'm asked to come in as a master teacher and teach teachers how to implement the African cultural dance from K through 12. So a lot of teachers will come in and they're learning the art form, and a lot of them now are teaching it, in the school systems, whether they're strong African based or not. The way that I teach and teaches my method is how to come across using the cultural African dance in various houses used for social studies, how's used for science, how's used for fitness, and how to implement it in their dance classes. So I have teachers teaching, and also some of the women and men in my dance company, they also teach for me as well. They've learned my style and the way that I approach the technique of African dance, and a lot of them are teaching as well.
Now, did you have to travel in order to learn all these specific dances? Or
I did some traveling on a lot of fortunately, a lot of the people of the Ivory Coast came here to the United States, and I began to study with them as well. I've gone to the Caribbean, and I've learned there as well. So yeah, I've pretty much here. I mean, I always tell people New York, and I believe California is, here is the place of the arts.
Right.
And a lot of my background of studying the art of West African and Afro-Caribbean dance is right here in New York City.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, I had to go, I think, all the way to Barbados to first see a junka. Am I saying it properly?
Yeah.
So to see a whole performance of that, when I could have just called you up.
Yeah. But now, the cultural dance of that art form, it is now all over the city, as well as people are collaborating the different movements. Yeah. But yes, you're welcome to come and take class with me anytime. Yes.
Well, that is great. And before you leave us, even though you're welcome to stay and watch the rest of the show, I greatly appreciate you and your dance company being our sponsor this week.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Exousia.
Yes, dance
and fitness company.
Yes.
So I have something in the cooler which will kind of take you out with. Okay, so I have a little jam speaker, and it might, because it's music and you're a dancer, there might be a little dancing that you have to do.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see
hear the sound.
Let's see if this works.
Yes. Okay.
Here I go. Woo!
Let's hear it. Okay, so we have, which is hip hop, comes out of the African.
Yes.
So yeah, so we can move.
Go, Jackie!
Yeah. Just pop the chest.
Woo!
All comes out of the African.
Come on, my guest, let's go! All right, so I'm going to learn some moves now.
Yes. And all you're doing is just popping the chest and getting in shape at the same time.
Shimmy. Whoa. I don't know if I can do it all. Hey, welcome to my house.
Go, girl.
All right.
Yes.
Jackie, thank you so much for being here
having
today.
me. Yes, definitely.
Okay, that was really fun.
Good.
And so we'll probably be talking a little bit about your role in the sponsor for today's episode. So you're welcome to stay and watch the rest of the show.
Sure.
But you might hear me be like, Jackie and Exousia Fitness is our sponsor for today.
Yeah.
So if anyone is interested in Caribbean dance and or African dance
or
fitness, they can contact you.
Yes, you can.
Oh, and before you leave, tell me how people can find you exactly.
Okay, I have an address, mailing address, but you can find me at the
Social media wise,
yeah. You can get, I have a website. You can get some information from my website, which is Exousia Dance and Fitness at WordPress.com.
Okay, and
so you definitely can check it out there. And again, we're right now a company with dance school without walls. We go to places, so we can always come to you.
Okay.
So definitely, so you can look on my website, send the information, and we'll definitely get to you if you can't get to us.
Okay. Thank you so
You're
much
welcome.
for being here today.